for their 2020 Champion for Babies and Families Awards. That's why I've invited, thanks to Barbara Kimmler, thank you, Barbara, Dave Lugo and Sara Piccollo to join us to tell us more about Moms Orange County. Welcome to the show, both of you.
Thanks so much for having us.
Thank you for having us.
It's
we appreciate it.
Great to have you both here. Dave, I wonder if you could tell us a little bit more about the organization, kind of how it got started and a little bit about what you do now.
Of course. Well, like you mentioned, Richard, Moms Orange County was formed 26 years ago in a response to a crisis in access for prenatal health care. Our target population is low-income pregnant and parenting mothers, their infants, and families. This population is adversely impacted by issues exacerbated by poverty, such as perinatal depression, anxiety, neighborhood violence, childhood trauma, and other stressors. The model used by Moms Orange County is a program of monthly home visitation, beginning in pregnancy and continuing through the baby's first year. After delivery and through the baby's first birthday, our visits focus on promoting the infant's healthy growth and development. Babies are formally and informally screened for developmental milestones. Key areas of our education include infant care, breastfeeding and nutrition, infant development, immunizations, and the importance of a medical home for the baby. In 2018, we had 14,000 home visits provided to 2,500 women and 2,100 babies.
Wow, that is impressive, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm so glad that you're here on the show. We were talking before we went on the air about finding root causes and solving root causes so that later you don't have the outcomes of those causes in a negative way. And clearly, the prenatal time and then the first year or two of a baby's life are so critical to a healthy rest of their life. So what's the backstory? I said you started 26 years ago. Who started Moms Orange County?
So Moms Orange County was founded by Dottie Andrews 26 years ago. She's a nurse by trade, and her goal was, again, she was seeing the epidemic that was going on in Orange County and recognized a need to step up and do something for these families that were being literally turned away at the hospitals as they were trying to access care for their incoming babies.
Wow. And so we have another person here, Sara Piccollo. Sara, could you explain your role as it relates to Moms Orange County?
Yeah, absolutely. So my role is that I'm the VP of Inclusion, Diversity, and Culture at PIMCO, and we're a partner with Moms OC in terms of some of the volunteer work that we do, and we were really grateful to be honored with their first annual Babies and Family Award a couple of years ago.
Okay, and that's what we're here to talk about a little bit later, right? The champions, which we're setting up for 2020. Well, it's nice to have you both in the studio, and off camera we have one other person here, so you can't see her, but she's here making sure we do the right thing. So PIMCO received the award, as you said, in 2017. That's great. Can you talk about the 2020 Champions for Babies and Family Award? Are there requirements for this? And
Sure. Yes, we're actively seeking nominations right now. So employers can be corporate, nonprofit, or government entities that operate in Orange County. The nomination should include details about how the organization supports expectant employees, employees who are new parents, and how these efforts exceed the minimum requirements of the law. Photos and other relevant materials can be included, and the winners are going to be notified in December of 2019 and recognized in early 2020. Our deadline for submissions is September 30th, although we can be a little bit flexible on that.
Okay, you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen, but don't wait till the last minute. Get started early, right? Are there forms on your website, or what do people? Do people?
Yes, actually, if you go to our website, which is www.momsorangecounty.org/biz4babies. That is BIZ, the number 4 babies.
Okay, and who judges the competition? I mean, how do you guys decide who the recipient is?
Well, we have a very dedicated team of professionals in our development department, and they will all get together once all the nominations are in and review all of the qualifications for all the candidates. And if our future results are any indication, we are going to have numerous opportunities for folks to jump in and show how they're supporting families.
Okay, so Sarah, you said in 2017 PIMCO won.
Yes.
And what did that do for the company? I mean, what? So there was a 2018 winner and a 2019 recipient as well, I take it. So you're here because 3 years ago you were selected. It must have had some impact on the culture of the organization. Can you share that with our audience?
Yes, no, the impact internally was really just pride. I think we knew that we had some good programs and we hoped that they were great programs, but being the recipient of the award really helped to show us internally that we were on the right track, that we had done some great things in terms of the programs and the benefits that we had established. And it was really encouragement for us to continue, to keep going, to continue to raise the bar and to do more.
Right, and because you're judging companies on how the benefits they offer to their employees.
Right. So with using PIMCO as an example, we had worked with them so much in the past, and we understood what they had been doing internally to help their folks that were returning from pregnancy. Some of the dedicated breastfeeding rooms, when you walked into there, it was equal to a country club. I mean, and they also made it accessible so the mother could come in and express her milk and also be on a conference call at the same time. So
Okay.
it was really allowing the mother to take care of the baby externally outside of the home and also return to work to get the job done.
Those are some challenging days. It's probably too long for me to remember when our kids were little ones, but I am a grandfather, and I know my two daughters, how much life changes before and immediately after that baby is born. And I didn't see the owner's manual with either child when they brought her home. It was like, you got to figure it out, ladies and gentlemen. So the added stress for a working mother to have to deal with all the other requirements, and then not even to mention single mothers, right? And the pressure that they must feel to do everything well. So having some help from the employer has got to be a big lift.
Absolutely.
And so you're recognizing those socially aware kind of companies. So my experience in having other organizations, nonprofits on the show that have some type of an awards program, the first year you, no disrespect to PIMCO, you get a couple, you get some, and then the second year you get a little bit more, and third year more, and now you're in your fourth year, you kind of get this momentum behind it. Is that what you're experiencing?
That's
Dave?
exactly what we're experiencing. It's very well said. The first year there were a few that jumped in, and the more the program grew, the more outreach we had from corporations, nonprofits, government entities within Orange County.
Right, yeah. Not to say that you shouldn't submit because the competition is greater, but you should submit, right? Because they get on your radar screen then too,
Of
right?
course,
and there's
yes.
probably some relationship that you have with PIMCO and you have with other companies based on what you know and how you maybe can help them with best practices, I would think.
Absolutely. We're happy to go in and provide our expertise in this field, and then there's also a reciprocation as well. We have these organizations that are able to help us out, and maybe that's with volunteerism, or maybe that's with philanthropy, or at the very least just creating awareness for Moms Orange County.
Right. So not to deviate too far, but I did want to ask you, what is legally, because we have CEOs and business owners that are listening to the show, what's legally required of workplaces to support expecting parents, new families?
Yeah, no, I mean, that's a really complex question.
Okay.
It's not as easy as just kind of here's the 1, 2, 3 of things that you need to
That's
take
business,
care
isn't
of.
it?
Absolutely. And I am by no means a benefits expert, but business owners, CEOs, senior executives can go to the EEOC website. They can go to the Equal Opportunity Commission. They can also go to the Department of Labor website, and so they can see what's required because it varies by jurisdiction and by location and by size of organization.
Right.
So that's really the best place for them to go and learn about what is required.
And clearly, the bigger you are, the more requirements you have, right? I mean, it's just the way of anything goes. The larger you are, the more the government is expecting you to be able to do for your people. But if I understand correctly, the focus for you are low income and the underserved population in our community. And I I don't mean this in any disrespectful way, but I tend to believe a lot of them work for the smaller companies,
Yes.
who maybe can't afford the kind of health programs that a larger employer can. So it's even more important for you to be talking with the smaller employees with a smaller workforce who maybe don't have as robust of a healthcare plan.
Absolutely. And at Moms Orange County, we do not fall under the guidelines of the FMLA, which is talking about employers that have a population of 50 or more.
Yes.
So we're a 35-person organization, but we still subscribe to those guidelines because we really like to practice what we preach.
Right, and it can be very expensive to have a child, and especially if your insurance isn't able to cover all the expense, and God forbid if something's wrong with the child where it has to stay in maybe prenatal care, not prenatal care, but in intensive care or something for a while after. Those bills can really become great, and that's another stressor on a young family, especially a low-income family, right?
Yes.
So the other services that your organization provides probably really can be very beneficial to people who are in need.
Right. We look at it as oftentimes a lifeline for these mothers and their families. Oftentimes we'll see mothers that are alone. They are here with no support. Maybe their families are in another country, and they really need somebody that they can lean on and they can trust. And if you watch them in the groups and the classes and the programs that we offer really come together and form those unifications of 8 to 10 women in their families, that's where their new kind of their rock to lean up against really evolves, and they move on from there.
I lead CEO peer groups for business owners here in Orange County, and I know what they can do when they get around other people who get them and understand what they're going through, and to hear that you're building cohorts. I can't imagine, because I've not been in that situation, but I have appreciation for what it must be like to be alone with a young child. There's young children don't sleep right?
Correct.
The first thing is you're deprived sleeping.
Yes.
And so that's always a difficult situation, but yet you have to be the primary caregiver for a totally helpless person who's totally depending on you for everything. That is a lot of pressure.
Yes, it is.
And so to have an organization like yours that can bring them around other people who get it, who can sympathize and empathize and maybe actually provide some level of knowledge and service, best practices, if you want to call it that in a business term, is unbelievable.
And we're happy to be there to serve them.
Okay, so let's talk about something that's gone wrong. Not in the business, but just in general. You ever had a thing that you worked on that you really wanted to get done and it didn't turn out the quite way you thought it did? And what'd you do about it?
Yeah, no, I mean, we can share one of the things that, the mistakes that we made at PIMCO. So when we started our PIMCO Families initiative back in 2014, we called it PIMCO Parents. And we thought that that was a great name for this. That was who we were supporting. That was who we were focused on. We thought we did a great job because we didn't call it PIMCO Moms. We called it PIMCO Parents to be inclusive.
Yeah, baby.
But quickly we realized that it needed to evolve into PIMCO Families, because not only are people caring for their infants and for their young children, but they're caring for their brothers, they're caring for their sisters, they're caring for their parents, they're caring for their teens and their young adults as well. And our employees weren't identifying that this group was really here for them as well. And so what did we do about it? We evolved, we changed, we rebranded, we expanded the scope of the types of programs that we run and the types of education sessions that we have.
Mm-hmm. How long did that take?
That was done about 2 years.
Okay, so it takes a little bit of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're so excited you launch something, and then you start to get the returns. And you go, ooh, okay, we didn't. It's amazing how you don't see things sometimes. You have the best intentions. I wrote a book on unintended consequences of decisions that we make. So thank you, Sarah, for being willing to step in and share your experience. No pressure. You don't have to chime in, Dave, but do you have something you want to share?
Well, I think, we have this great home visiting program that we've had for 26 years, and we love the way the program lays out. However, we always look down the road and see other opportunities that come up, maybe other value-added services that we can throw into this program, and we're actually at that stage right now where we're incorporating a couple of different programs within our program in hopes that it makes it an even more robust offering to our clients. So I think that always having the flexibility to evolve whatever it is you're doing, I think that's what helps make us successful.
Great. As you both were talking, and kind of I was keying on it more, it's what Sarah was answering honestly, but I wonder about parents, low-income parents, single mother, who maybe have a special needs child, where all the challenges of having a child are magnified by maybe a condition that is maybe lifelong. How does moms address that for them?
Sure. So if it's something that we can do in-house, we are going to accommodate those families because we want to see all of these families be able to succeed and grow. If it's something that might be outside of our reach, we have so many fantastic partner agencies that we work with in Orange County, and we send out a referral to them, and then they go ahead and take care of that family.
Well, that's important because it can get very expensive very fast if you need accelerated or intensive care for a child. Yes. And that for families with means, it can be bankrupting. I can imagine for low income families it's not even probably viewed as even a possibility. And so to have an organization like yours, it sort of acts as a clearinghouse a little bit then, is what you're saying, right?
Exactly. And these families are so desperate to keep a roof over their head or put food on the table that any of these ancillary services are not even within the realm of possibility. So that's where us, and like I mentioned before, some of these outstanding agencies that we partner with come into play and really help those families grow.
Yeah, this is amazing because, people who don't live in Orange County or maybe who do live in Orange County don't realize that there's a big part of Orange County that is in need of services and in need of help and care. And it doesn't go unnoticed on Critical Mass Radio Show and Podcast, and that's why I enjoy the opportunity to share with great people like you all to come in and talk about your mission and vision for what you're doing to help our county thrive.
Yes.
Because we all are in this together, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
All right. So if we're going to have you back at some point in the future to talk about Moms Orange County, what's going to be different, bigger, new? Where's your vision? You're the COO. So where are you guys taking this thing, Dave?
That's actually such a timely question for us right now because we are in a transition period where if you go back to 26 years ago, our starting point, that was Moms 1.0, and right now we've kind of evolved that into 2.0 after our founder moved on and our current CEO came in and took over. And now we're looking to Moms 3.0, and that could incorporate, or I should say will incorporate, some of the core programs that we have right now, but we look at it as a blank slate that we get to play with, and we're looking at all kinds of different programs, maybe extending the age of care that we take care of these families. So we are working on a strategic plan as we speak, and we will be excited to share that with you next time we are fortunate to be back on the show.
That'd be great. I'd love to understand what that is because one of the things that I've learned. He's subtle, isn't he? He's very good. I like that. Invite yourself back. I want you back, of course. The difference between a nonprofit and a for-profit, in my mind, is the for-profit has to go out and look for customers. The nonprofit has more customers, clients, than you can serve. Right? The mission is bigger than you're able to deliver. Any one of our worthy nonprofits, and so the fuel to do more is great leadership combined with a donor population that is committed to the cause, right? And so if someone would like to learn more about your organization, maybe get involved, I don't know, maybe be on your board or get active in your galas or whatever, how can they help you? Where's the best place to find you guys online?
Best place to find us is www.momsorangecounty.org. And you'll be able to find information on our programs, on our board of directors, our leadership team, our home visitation team, our education team, and just the history of our organization. And you're also going to learn a little bit about the fantastic donors, the individuals, the corporations, the government entities that have supported Moms Orange County for so many years.
It does take a mix of organizations and people to really commit to the cause to keep you vibrant for 26 years and hopefully another 26 from now, right?
Yes.
Well, thank you both for being friends of the program and sharing a bit of your story with my audience. I truly appreciate your time today.
Thanks so much for having us.
Yes, thank you for having us.
Oh, you're welcome. And I'd like to thank our engineer who worked diligently in the background over there, Mr. Paul Roberts, as well as our 3 producers without whom we could not do this show each week. They are Joan Park, Crystal Nunley, and our newest producer, Nicole Terry, who started back to school today at Cal State Fullerton. If you would like to connect with me, I'd say let's start on LinkedIn. I'm Richard Franzi, Franzi. Until the next show, I hope all of your business decisions will move your company in a positive direction.